Hello everyone, Empire Baron here. Thank you for joining me and welcome back. This game took place directly after the last one on the Mista stream. I was really excited to see when the Mista had gone back up that the TheRTSKing decided to queue up as well, and they both got back into ranked. So we are going to see these two players go at it again. It was such a really great game, the last one. If you haven't seen it yet, I'll give you a second to head over there before I talk about it. Well, the Mista, he had a strong strategy he said he'd been exploring with as of late, where he takes that fast silver and he doesn't have quite as many military up to defend, but if he gets a chance to get to that age and then put pressure on, he can end games really quickly, even against strong players, just because those units are so much stronger. As we see, this is the inland map. They are both still in the Greek civilization. The water is there. The Mista goes directly for that water, as you should. As soon as you see water, go for it. Start to figure out how you're going to get it, if you need to defend it, or what the case may be. And we will see as this game goes on how that takes place. You see that scout going across the map. So important to pay attention to that. Try to find the RTS base. There we see TheRTSKing has the water of his own there. So these players aren't going to have to defend their water too much. They each have their own convenient little pond to work from. And now this week, it is Friday, or maybe you're watching this video and it's not Friday, but today when I'm making this video, it is Friday, and there was an update today, and in that update it talked about the capital city UI that we will be getting soon. And, you know, this will be a good addition. I guess it's something that'll make it a little bit more convenient in the capital city. Hopefully this will be making it more so you don't have to really leave Sparta all that much. You go back to your capital city. I wonder if they're even going to have an arena button. You know, I'm not quite sure about that, but they showed a couple things like that. Also, the major announcement was a 4v4, but don't get too excited. Not the one that most people out there want. It's 4 players versus 4 AIs. So yeah, that's good. You know, you can still get 3 of your friends together and play against 4 AIs on Unstoppable. And I'm sure that'll be, you know, pretty fun. I don't exactly know, you know, right now I see people doing 1v4 Unstoppable or 2v4 Unstoppable. I don't know if they're going to, you know, find some way to epically tweak the AI so they're so, you know, all of a sudden now the AI have a brain. You know, ooh, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I guess we will see how that works out when they do the update. They did say, though, that the update will come, you know, with the update of the Celts. So we will see that update, you know, the Bug Chelada update, as Batsy so creatively named. That will be the massive update that will hopefully fix all of our problems and make us all, you know, so happy. And that is according to the devs. We don't know exactly when that is going to happen. They're about as specific as March. So we will see March that happening. You know, I really hope that they mean March, you know, but I guess we will see. You know, March. That sounds good to me. It's the end of April, so I'm getting kind of excited for that. We will start to see some of the new things that come out with Celts. They made a nice video about it. If you want to check it out, head over to the forums. You know, it was a really good showing of something different and unique and a new gameplay. They're showing some creativity. We'll see how the story is, you know, and we'll go from there. You know, we'll see. Hopefully that update will be a big balance and fix of a lot of things. But right now, we're seeing the Mista is trying kind of risky plays, investing a couple resources into attacking this northern pond here with a couple docks to maybe put pressure on the water. He could end the game right there, but he was forced off of this water source. The villager was off of that second dock there. His trireme is going to come out a little bit too late, and the TheRTSKing does know about that, as the Mista then builds a barracks and is going to lay down a couple houses, as now that trireme is going to, yeah, it is a trireme now. There's a trireme, it's the Greeks. So that trireme is out and is going to do some damage, maybe take out a fishing boat. You know, that's 100 resources. If, you know, there's that annoying Navy micro, even the boats have it where you just sit there and jockey around those boats until your trireme comes out, and then boom, now he can retreat. That fishing boat has 1 life, and there it goes, sunk. And it sunk right into the coast. Anyways, so we're seeing a stables go down and a barracks go down. And, one of the couple things that I wanted to talk about that's been kind of getting me a little bit sad lately is, we only have a couple thousand players in the game. And I really would like to see some of a little bit more of a push from them to give us information. I mean, there's only a couple thousand players in the game, and in the forums, there's only a couple hundred that read the forums. So I feel like they should give us some sort of push of information. Maybe March 1st. Maybe I'm asking for too much. Maybe the first week of March. Give us a note and say, okay, by the end of March, this is going to be our patch notes. We're not going to make you wait until the game shuts down and you guys be the last people to know. I mean, I for one at least know, and I know lots of people look at the forums at least one time a day. And, I feel like that they could give us a little bit more activity there. I mean, how hard is it? I feel like they have to have these notes in their computer already to copy and paste stuff and just give us information. Not everybody is going to read it. And right now, what do you have to lose? I mean, the game has been out since August 16th. And I don't want to say it's a failure by any means because I still think it has lots of potential. We're seeing, the player base start to go up a little bit. But I just feel like that, there should be more information you can give us right now so that we have confidence to spread the word, and at least tell people this is something that is worth you to keep an eye out for, and not just wait for you guys to put more money into putting advertisements into marketing and the like, and I mean, we're seeing now 2 stables and an archery range. I'm not going to rant this entire time. I know that I sometimes it's going to come out like that. I've been seeing a lot of players a little bit frustrated as of late, and I've been talking during this stream in the chat with a lot of players. And we were having some really good discussions, and it kind of got me to thinking why, Microsoft and Gas Powered Games isn't trying to get more of that discussion going on in their forums, because then they don't have to do quite as much thinking. They can read a little bit and it doesn't take quite as long. You get some good ideas. You try to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? But what can it hurt? At least, if anything, give us a little bit of a feeling, even if you don't read them, give us a little bit of a feeling that, you care by telling us some of this stuff. I understand. Don't tell us dates. I don't get why, though, you can't at least just tell us what you got planned. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But say, well, we were thinking about this, we're thinking about this, and it can at least be some sort of, conversation, with the player base who, right now isn't very big. So, it seems like the only reason that they're doing it is because they're kind of hiding, and I'm afraid that they don't want to tell us what they have planned because they're afraid that if they tell us that we're not going to put another penny into the game. And I'm sure people still right now, especially, they lowered the prices down. If you were thinking of buying Persia and maybe you didn't before because you didn't want to spend $20, well, now it's only $10. So, maybe they're afraid of telling you too much information before you buy it. I'm just trying to get them to realize that we want to know what they have planned, because I feel like they still are putting enough. I saw Big Twinkie on today playing, or maybe not playing, maybe he was just Gold Farmer moderating, but I feel like that they're still putting energy into the game. So it has some potential, and it still has the feel that they want it to work. So I just want confirmation from them so that I can be at peace and keep making these videos and keep trying to promote this community, because that's what these games at this point is all about. That's why Age of Empires, the first game, Age of Empires, and Age of Empires 2, people are still playing right now. I hear they released Steam Age of Empires 3. I said that the last game, someone said there's some 4,000 players. That's probably way more than that are on this game right now. And, that's kind of sad in a way, because this game is geared towards online. It's free for crying out loud. So it's like, come on, you just need to do some real basic things, or at least give us the desire and the show that that's on the way. PvP is a huge aspect. As I'm showing now, these players are so strong in these games, and so many people are so into it, at least give us hope that an observer mode is on the way and competitive play will at least be something in the future. So please give us hope of that. Now, I'm not going to beat it to death any more than that. I promise you. No more. We see now force of Series going on here and archers, Toxotes going on. We are still in the second age here as we're seeing we're seeing the TheRTSKing do exactly what TheMistaa did and raid, and he sent and built the dock into the pond. It is so important to get these waters. I think that was something that I did miss while I was on my rant. TheMistaa had built a dock trying to attack that northern water, and you can end the game right there if they don't realize you built that dock. You kill all their fishing boats, you take control of that water, and then they have no way of getting that back. TheRTSKing was able to repel that, but then TheMistaa did not prepare for that same kind of attack to be done. Now TheMistaa is going to take this group of Series and he's going to move them down, and he's going to try to take out some fishing boats, because those fishing boats do give quite a bit of economy, but it seems as though he is going to take some damage. He didn't actually sink a fishing boat. Those Series don't do much damage to those boats. But we will see now how this game progresses from here. It is another good game. Now TheMistaa is about to that third age. He did start that upgrade. He's about to the third age. He has 2 stables, 2 archery ranges, and we will see now a couple Series are coming in for the TheRTSKing, and they are going to try to stop building here these the building of the houses, but that is not going to do anything. He didn't even kill that one villager, where there is plenty of Toxotes in the vicinity to take care of that little harassment there. TheMistaa not really spreading too much. When you have the water, you're given that ability because you don't need to take advantage of any kind of hunting, and you can really focus down on your close mineral mines. And we're seeing he's trying to sneak around there and get some sort of harassment in, but the TheRTSKing very smartly has his force very close to the middle of his base, and that will allow him to react to any sort of harassment. Both these players playing sort of a very tight game that in this inland map allows them to start their base and stay in a really restricted area, and the water is really close to both their maps. So they're both their bases. This is a very interesting battle now that will be taking place very soon. We see 46 villagers are on the field for TheMistaa, and this population is right at 130. Now a town center is going to be going down here and being finished very shortly, as well as he was adding, I believe those are some stables. We see a Padromos coming up, so TheRTSKing is definitely in that third age, and he was moving and expanding out to that gold mine there, but that Padromos scouted this raiding party and probably saved the lives of all those villagers and could have taken this game. That is why it is so important. Little things like that could have ended this game for the TheRTSKing, but now, no, he lives to fight another day, and we will see now how this game progresses from here, as TheRTSKing is putting up quite a fight against TheMistaa, who has proven to be such a strong player as of late. And as I said, that last game was just so exciting, and TheRTSKing just wasn't able to hold on. But this game is a little bit more standard, so let's see now. TheMistaa hasn't been able to do any economical damage. He is now starting to build a couple of town centers, but they are rather close to his base, so he is choosing not to expand out that much. He's probably going to switch. There's some farms going down now once he's starting to run low on water. That the fishing, might as well not really go for hunting, because here we are, the first engagement. TheRTSKing is trying to push his advantage of deciding to go more heavy on the military. TheMistaa decided to pull back and is allowing the first couple of buildings to go down, or one building, unbuilt building, was all that went down before TheRTSKing strategically retreated back and is now just going to be content to hold map control. Right now, I feel like if I was in TheRTSKing's position, I would push the advantage you have. If you feel like you're losing the battle, then pull back and take map control. But right now, he is getting also a little bit of harassment to the back of his base. That is going to do some damage to those farms. And the longer that he is not farming, that is a slow food resource already. That means that he had to, he's already running low on those fishing resources. And this is where it starts to get to a stage where this could get to a stalemate for a little while. Whoever makes the first blunder here, TheMistaa is splitting his series off, trying to pincer those Tuxotes, but TheRTSKing smartly retreats to this choke point, blobbing together his force of archers and forcing TheMistaa back away. That was just a choke point of death for TheMistaa to enter, and he smartly pulls back, knowing that he just can save, not being so pressured, retreat back. He's going to change that rally point back and now just keep focusing down on macroing out his economy, because now it's a stage of who can make the least amount of errors, who can have their villagers working the most consistently and have them balanced the best. That is who wins these games at this high level of play. Who takes these four resources and keeps them as low as possible. That is who will have the biggest military and will be able to withstand all of the damage that the enemy will be able to put on. So it kind of turns into a battle of patrician here. We will see now, how this is going to progress. Another gold mine is going to be expanded out. Now that TheMistaa is going to kind of scout out the base here of TheRTSKing, and there was the enemy right there. Sneaking behind the enemy was TheMistaa with those fast Padromos, is now going to go after these farms again, just trying to hurt the food, because he knows that he is at probably a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to the actual size of his military. He has quite a bit of villagers, and when he ran through, and now he is at max population, and his military still doesn't look entirely as large as the TheRTSKing's, but we will see. He's holding his own, and now he can just kind of build, and he's also, you see the upgrades starting to upgrade from that armory building, and now we're seeing a couple of those Prodromos go down. He's going to be able to quickly replenish that population. He's going to do it, it appears, with some more Peltists are going to come out, and well, no, he still hasn't replenished. There they go down. He's upgrading some more archery stuff, and now it's just kind of settling in. Both players afraid to make too much of a mistake, and TheMistaa has now got full houses down, and I mean, he's got full population available, full population out there, and it's only a matter of time before he puts the pressure on here, because now he doesn't want to sit back too much. So that's what these Prodromos are probably coming in, kind of scouting out the enemy, maybe trying to draw some of the forces to the back. But TheRTSKing is also putting on some of his own pressure with only 3 series, though maybe not quite enough. But this force still is going to get far enough into the base of TheRTSKing and do some damage. And TheMistaa is also going to be trying to snipe this town center in the western side, which is painfully close. TheRTSKing has got some courage putting that town center in that close of a location to TheMistaa's base. TheMistaa did not like it. And then the whole force of TheRTSKing came across and said, I want that there. And, now the TheRTSKing is really going to have to hold this central part of the map. That town center becomes a pretty precious location at this stage of the game. If TheMistaa is able to take it down, that will really change the course of this game. Such a risky play. You get a little bit more defense, but I don't know. I think it's a little bit too close for me. I don't know. Maybe everybody out there can talk about that in the comments. But there goes the market in that part, just so he can start getting that consistent gold. You see, he has lots of resources as he's let them get up a little bit now that he's had a little bit more of a gap. He's had max population for a little while, and he also now is getting ready probably to upgrade to that 4th age very shortly, as he's finishing some of these armory upgrades, getting his military up to par. He's able to get some resources built up, and then now he can just kind of keep map control. And even if TheRTSKing has full population too, it becomes a battle of who can get the strongest economy, who can upgrade their units the most, who has the best composition in their army. All of these things take place and affecting the outcome of these battles, and we will see who does that the best. I saw the TheRTSKing has something like 900 games. Yes, 900. You heard me right. That is in our ranked battle, and TheMistaa doesn't have quite so many, but TheMistaa plays lots of StarCraft. So let's let's see if experience plays out in this game, and how this war of attrition kind of plays out with these now some siege workshops on the field at this very ginger location. TheMistaa is in a little bit of a touchy spot. Those siege workshops are very sensitive right now, and they are completely surrounded by a blob of Peltis as TheMistaa is going to be forced to retreat back. Let's see now if TheRTSKing decides to hold on this position, and if TheMistaa is trying to reinforce his troops there, he is getting to that 4th age. So I think maybe he is going to sacrifice these siege workshops if TheRTSKing chooses to take the time and spend there killing them. He's a little bit scared there, you see, of his gold miners, and if TheRTSKing realizes that he can send his troops over there for 2 seconds and do quite a bit of damage. But in the same time, he doesn't really want any more military. We're seeing some more series come out on the field as we see lots of Peltis are out there. So still now some Prodromos I see are doing some more damage in the back, and there is the force. He sees those siege workshops. He says, you know what, it takes a little bit too long to kill those siege workshops. Maybe I should just take away the wood, and instead that will stop some siege from coming out for a little bit longer. And that's what TheRTSKing tries to do, is push on that wood line. TheMistaa reacts with it pretty well, moving his forces down. TheRTSKing though is going to march to the southern part of the base. Very risky move here, coming into the back of the base, and now he's going to try to put pressure on, but TheMistaa has put his forces away now and is already at the 4th age, also has quite a bit of resources ready, so he's not really feeling too much of a ding now as TheRTSKing is kind of shifting for position back and forth. Now TheMistaa has enough power, it seems, to scare TheRTSKing away. Is TheRTSKing going to turn and fight? He is going to turn and fight. Let's see how this plays out for both these players. Very critical moment in this game as they are jockeying for position. TheRTSKing can't decide, should I stay or should I go? And TheMistaa is still just pushing further as now these siege workshops are going to start pumping out ballistas. And this may turn the tide of this battle as they do splash damage. And that will really start to pour it on these. And it might not even take that, as TheMistaa is really got TheRTSKing pinned in this fight. And man, this is going to be tough to come back. So many resources lost by TheRTSKing and so little lost by TheMistaa, as TheMistaa now is upgrading. He's going to get back to max population here rather quickly, but he wants to do it probably with a combination of ballistas, and I see some Hippikins are coming out on the field. This will help tank so he can keep those ballistas safe, have maybe a more mobile army instead of so much of those Peltis. But we are seeing still some villagers coming out. I believe that's some 80 villagers on the field right now in this 4th age. He's got over 1,800 gold, and he's got 15 villagers going on food. He's probably now buying and selling from the market so that he can get the resources he needs to help that balance. If you can get that, I feel like this game, we have the potential to see if this game gets really competitive and people really get practiced in this game, like in StarCraft, to see players be able to really master balancing this economy, because that's what makes this game so great. Compared to StarCraft, Age of Empires has a more realistic economy, as we're seeing that fortress be able to hold off this attack of Prodromos, as TheMistaa says, you know what, I don't mind losing a couple of these villagers at this point in time. He's going to send a couple Hippikins town to help, but the Prodromos are kind of coming around, doing a little bit of harassment. But TheMistaa now with 5-6 ballistas is really going to be able to take down these town centers rather quickly. He's rooted out the western base for the TheRTSKing, and now he's got only lost a couple population, turning out that whole town center. Let's see now if TheRTSKing is going to be able to stop this push. TheMistaa is going to pepper down a bunch more stables, and this way he can rush Hippikins in to reinforce that population. Hippikins, because they have such a high population limit, that is one of the things you can reinforce and get max population so fast, and that does in turn, if you can keep the economy going for it, equate to power, and that is a little bit of the drawback for them, taking they should maybe make them less powerful and make them have 2 population back to how they did. I guess we'll see how this goes. That market goes down as now we are seeing quite a push go on by TheMistaa, and I don't know. There it is. The TheRTSKing has resigned. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you agreed, and I hope I didn't get too fired up for you about some of the news about the game as of late. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I would really love to hear everybody's opinions, you know, because we're still into this game. If you're watching this video, you still care enough to have your opinion be heard, and you know, maybe some Microsoft people or some GvG people will talk in the comments as well, or you know, let us know any of these questions I'm bringing up. I feel like that would go a huge way into maybe bringing some of these players who have lost a little bit of faith back into the game, because they're still watching my videos. We still have something like 1,500 subscribers, you know, and a lot of those are PvP players who left just waiting for this big update. So please tell us the update. Tell us what it's going to be, at least ideas of what it's going to be. So thanks everybody for watching. And with that said, please, observer mode is of the utmost importance. Empire Baron out.